Hello everyone, my name is Jaybird, and welcome back to Cupid. I'm totally not eating peanuts that I have. Okay, I lied, I am. I'm sorry. They're honey roasted peanuts, they're my favorite kind. So before I get into it, I just want to fucking ramble because I'm pissed off a little bit. So, today, I was supposed to take a test at school, and, because, most seniors didn't have to go to school today, but if, like, it said that you had to go take a test, then you had to go. So, me being me, with having late arrival, like no first period, and it being late start, I had to actually leave to go to school earlier than I normally would, and that kind of, like, you know, like, that was kind of hard for me to do, because it's like, I'm not used to that, going to school as early than I normally would, especially on a Wednesday, because Wednesday is always late, start, so you, like, come to school an hour later. So, I was like, okay. So I get my ass up there, I'm walking, and I'm actually like a few minutes late, but that didn't really have anything to do with it. Like, I was worried that they wouldn't let me take the test if I was like a few minutes late, but thankfully they just let me in. So we were waiting. It was like an online test, and we were like, first we had to like create a, like, log in. And then they're like, actually, you know what, you're gonna go back, we have to go back, you're gonna log out, and you have to make a whole new account. So we're like, okay, so we do that, and we're all just waiting to take our test, and we wait for like almost an hour, and they weren't able to, you know, give us our tests, like they weren't able to like authorize us our tests on the website, and they're like troubleshooting and like trying to contact the people behind the website, and they just couldn't. So they basically were like, okay, you guys can just go home now, because we can't take the test, we can't figure this out. And they apologized, and like, I just, like, on my way out of school, I was just laughing, and like, I didn't know whether to be pissed off or happy that I didn't have to take a test, but I was pissed off because that was an hour that I will never get back. I just wasted a fucking hour waiting for a test that I didn't get to take at all. And so I'm like pissed off, and I'm also happy that, oh hey, at least I don't have to take it today, but that also means that I have to take it another time. So like, I'm just a bundle of fuck. But anyways, we're gonna continue. No more, you won't have to hear me complain anymore. But like, Jesus Christ, that pissed me off. Anyways, oh shit, yeah, I forgot we were doing this. I'm gonna eat peanuts now, because I'm uncomfortable. I have my room as dark as it could possibly be right now. It's day time right now, so it's still a little bit light. Actually, no, what? No, I still have a nightlight on. Let me unplug that. Okay, now it's completely as dark as I can get it. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, I'm ready for some spooks. As soon as I saw this peanut. Rosa didn't speak, but she started to form the words in her mind, feeling them in her bones, giving life to every thought. She took a small knife and carved a symbol on her floor. It didn't need much, a guilt spell. It didn't aim to punish, it only aimed to inform. She needed to know how much guilt the man carried, and the source of such guilt. If the guilt was concrete and came from a direct action, then she would know did something to Catherine. It had been a while since she had used magic. It used to be the only way she could protect herself from the world. Mother had taught her, and now Mother guided her as she cast her spell. She needed a possession of the man. Rosa opted for his voice, still fresh from memory. She focused on the last conversation they shared. If you need something to hate, I will take care of you. I need you. His words made Rosa feel distress and confusion. Always, it was this way with him. The feeling wasn't foreign. It had been there for years. Oh. Really? Oh. I will always be here for you. Oh, what the fuck was that? Rosa felt a violent force upturn her stomach. It was that horrid lurch just before vomiting. Oh god. You failed! The spell collapsed in her brain. Focus, idiot child, or you'll lose your chance! Rosa tried again. This time, she focused on Guillaume's eyes. Cold. Like flints of steel. Dark and fathomless. No grief except perhaps for the situation. No Catherine. No pain of loss. This didn't matter to her. The relationship was dying anyway. Where was this guilt? Rosa dug deeper. She increased the chanting on her lips. No torment. No uncertainty. No guilt. Did the spell fail again? The spell fail again? Fuck, I can't talk! Did the spell fail again? She searched once more and found nothing. There was no guilt in Guillaume's eyes. She could stop the spell now, knowing that he was innocent. If the spell had worked, then Guillaume was blameless, but this absence was most distressing! Fuck! Rosa desperately pushed her mind further, almost wishing there were traces hiding beyond her reach. Guilt should be present in any loss, no matter how little. Don't we blame ourselves for our own loss? Don't we hate ourselves and punish ourselves even if it wasn't our fault? It didn't have to be real, but we need guilt to feel pain. But Guillaume didn't have a sliver of guilt. The vicious pain took hold of her again, squeezing her stomach with murderous intent. The pain was so great, Rosa wasn't sure if the spell had failed or succeeded. Something is wrong. Before Rosa could agree with Mother, she felt a sharp pain in her throat. Rosa clutched her neck, scraping, scratching. A sharp, jagged lump was blocking her breathing. Oh god! I have a peanut in my throat! No, legit. Ouch. She could feel its edges crawl up her windpipe, tearing the soft walls as it moved about. This is a very graphic way to describe vomiting, if that's what you're describing. The pain did not stop. Oh, fuck. Rosa fell to her knees and gagged. Is that blood? Is she vomiting blood? Oh my god, look at that. I'm gonna take a screenshot because I'm a horrible, morbid person and I love torturing myself with these images. It's just lovely. Family-friendly content. This is the content you subscribed for. This is the family-friendly content. It's not blood. It's Kool-Aid. It's Kool-Aid. She's throwing up Kool-Aid. She actually when she was drinking it went down the wrong pipe and she kind of coughed it all up and yeah. Huge drips of blood-spotted spit ran down her chin. It's not spit. It's cool. It's not blood. It's Kool-Aid. It's Kool-Aid. She thrashed about like a woman being strangled. Mother remained calm, unaffected by Rosa's distress. Clearly! Rosa was about to expel whatever it was. Tears ran down her face. The horrible acidic taste coated her tongue. Finally, she opened her mouth and forced the vile thing out. She kept her eyes shut, afraid to look at whatever had come out of her. I would be doing that too. But the choking feeling gripped her and she puked again. Oh god, you're gonna make me puke. The liquid dripping down her mouth thickened and congealed. It wasn't spit anymore, but blood. It gathered around her knees in a growing pool. Rosa panted. Every breath was laced with pain. But the gruesome effect had finally stopped. She wiped the sweat on her forehead. Something on the floor reflected light. She struggled to comprehend what was in front of her. She reached out with her hands, and the prick of something sharp made her recoil. She tried again, this time seeing more clearly. Rosa picked them up with shaking hands. Needles. Oh, fuck! Someone screenshot because hell yeah. What's wrong with me? This is gross. This is horrifying. Why am I doing this to myself? Well, it is the month of spoops, so that does make sense. Oh yeah, and we're also gonna have an episode of this next week on, because it's Wednesday, and Halloween's on Wednesday next week, so get ready for that. I'm gonna eat more peanuts because I feel bad. In her palms were a handful of long metal needles. She had regurgitated them along with bloody jagged piece of flesh. Ugh! Gross! Rose examined them with a horrified kind of curiosity. She stuck one in her thumb and it drew more blood. Stop doing that! You're already bleeding enough as it is! Oh my god, this is making me gonna vomit. They were real. This is making me uncomfortable. Oh my god. I'm queasy a little bit. Ugh! Ugh! Oh god! Oh my god. I'm laughing because I don't know how else to like calm myself down. This is freaking me out a little bit. Like, if this happened to me, I would just want to die. Like, oh my god, I'd be horrified. They had materialized in her throat while casting the spell on Gimme. Rosa wiped her mouth. There was something wrong with him. Something potent and dark. Or could it be that she had merely botched the spell horribly? Probably that. She had pushed her limits this time. She had gone too far. But still, a tugging concern was forming. It was as real as the metal needles in her hand. Rosa tried to stand up on her feet, but she was exhausted. Her knees failed her, and she crumpled on the floor like a rag. I knew it! We must get to the bottom of this. Well, obviously, we must get to the bottom of this. I knew it. I knew you were gonna get needles in your throat, you stupid child! We must get to the bottom of this. This is a better answer, I think. Are you quite alright, my dear? My darling? Now you see it too. There is a sinister force at work. Get up. We have a lot of work to do. We must find out what he is and stop him. Russell stared at the needles in her hand. Who are you really, Gimme? Gimme. Why is the screen just dark? Am I supposed to wait for a jump scare or something? What am I waiting for? Am I supposed to click? What am I supposed to do? Well, the music stopped and now it's coming back. Okay, I guess I do have to click it. Oh! I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Chapter 3. Well, okay. Let's save. Chapter 3, portraits candlelit. Let's return. I'm gonna take a break to eat peanuts. Cause I'm fat. And also, goddamn, I'm disturbed. But I guess that's why they had the mature content warning. Now I know what I'm in for. Like, goddamn. Like, that was fine seeing Catherine's body hanging. Like, that was fine. But this, needles in the throat, that's going a bit too far now. Oh yeah, it was also fine with her gouging her eye out. But needles? No. No, that's going too far. I guess it's just the way they described it. It kind of grossed me out a little bit. I'll never look at needles the same way again. Oh, don't you hate it when you're eating peanuts and you get one that's kind of slightly burnt, like a roasted one? I hate that. I hate the taste of slightly burnt peanuts. It's so gross. I make such quality content. Oh god, okay. That looks like an oddly modern couch for the time period this is set in, but okay. Anyways. Okay. Rosa entered the room with a tray of pastries and a pot of tea. Her duties were finished and she was allowed a bit of free time. She thought of accompanying Catherine for today's piano lesson, but she's dead, isn't she? Is this a flashback? Maybe, I don't know. Kath, do you want some tea? The girl didn't look her way. She continued to churn out the bitter, melancholic sound from her piano. Rosa sighed, her shoulders slumped in defeat. She placed the food on the table. She sat on the stool beside the piano, twirling her thumbs while her friend continued to stew in her foul mood. Is that a new composition? It sounds nice. Nowadays you make a new piece every day. It's a shame they're all so sad. Catherine didn't reply to that, but when she spoke again, her words were bitter. Damn. Is she a bit older now? Is this an older Catherine I'm looking at? I assume so, because she grew her hair out, and she does look like she's a blossoming young lady. Look at that little hourglass shape going on here with their some button bosoms right there. Button bosom right there. Is this necklace new? Nice to see you alive again, Catherine. I've missed you. I saw them again, those degenerate louts. No shame at all. Kath. All right, consenting damn adults and all that. At least they have the decency to close the door. At least have the decency to close the door. I don't know if I should be giving her a high-pitched voice or not, because she looks like a young woman instead of an 8-year-old. Probably. She's about the same height as her now. Yeah. I'll give it a little deeper. I'll give her a puberty-ridden voice like this. Sometimes I dare say they want to get caught. When I walked in on them this morning, each eating each other's faces, they had this look on them. Like they were daring me to say something. Oui? Qui? Koi? Do they want my applause? What the fuck is that word? Qui? Koi? Koi? I don't know how to say that. I'm not French. I am not French, so I do not know how to say that. Why am I doing an Italian stereotypical voice? A meatball, a spicy meatball. I'm burped because of peanuts. Okay. Let's find Google Translate. More peanuts, because I have a lot of time to waste. More peanuts, because I have a lot of time to waste. Okay. Oh, it means what? Okay. No. Quoi? 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 Pourquoi? Right? Pourquoi? Quoi? Okay. Learning French every day. Go to France. I know all of your words. Quoi? Pourquoi? Baguette. Sacre bleu. Mademoiselle. Monsieur. Mon chéri. gentil, merci. Okay, anyways. Quoi? Do they want my applause? Very nice technique, sire. I very much like the way you swapped your spit with my sister. Great tongue action. Oh, shit. He's making out with Emily. Ah! I don't know all these French words. Slow. Very wonderful. Merveille. I'm not French, so I do not know.
Très merveilleux.
Shut up!
Très merveilleux.
Très merveilleux. Okay. Just a French phrase after another. And he even has the gall to speak to me? Be a dear and put them on the table, Catherine. He even said. Like I am a soft-headed giggle mug of a maid. What the fuck? Soft-headed giggle mug of a maid? What the fuck does that even mean? What's a giggle mug? What the fuck is a giggle mug? What the fuck is a giggle mug? No, I'm serious. What the fuck is a giggle mug? What is a giggle mug? What is a giggle mug? Why do I have to keep asking questions after every sentence that she says? Woo! A face with an easy, constant smile. Okay. He wanted me to get annoyed. I just know it. Well, fuck you. I can't say all these French words. Stop giving them to me. I guess I should have expected this when it said took place in France. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Does that mean fuck in French? It says fuck. I put in Google Translate. The English just says fuck.
Fuck.
Fuck. Okay.
Fais chier.
Fais chier. Well, fais chier, I am. Catherine turned to the tea and pastry, stuffing the buttered bread into her mouth. Easy there. These damn things. These damn delicious things! She said the last part angrily, as if she blamed her troubles on the food's relish. Rosie giggled in spite of herself. Catherine wiped her mouth in mock anger. What are you laughing at, wench? It's almost comical to watch you eat when you're angry, Kath. You're like the giant monsters that attack defenseless towns in horror books. Oh, yes? Catherine made sad tiny squeals and picked up another piece of bread. No, please, spare us! She adjusted her voice and boomed out a roar. The Catherinian monster of the deep doesn't show mercy to anyone! She dropped it in her mouth and chewed, savagely. Yum! Annihilation is delicious with tea! The two girls giggled. Catherine's rare smile turned into a rueful laugh, and soon Rosa felt her mood turning somber again. What happened, anyway? Aren't you annoyed by it, too? Sister has changed ever since she started helping in the chateau. Now it's all give me this, give me that. As if she wasn't already married. Ugh. She doesn't even care that people are talking behind her back. They're calling her a two-timing slut now. I'm tired of running around picking fights with gossipers. She hasn't even visited home for a long time. Father misses her a lot. He always asks about her. Father had worked so hard all these years just to give us a comfortable life. Now he is sick, and all she cares about is that dastardly Marquis. Rosa shrugged. I am a little bit annoyed, but I guess I've gotten used to it. Their lives are their own, Kath. She didn't dare divulge more than to Catherine. More than to Catherine. What? More than that to Catherine. But it was partially true. I like Yumi. He's a nice friend. But I love my sister. If they want to stay together, then why not fix this and have at it? But what irritates me to my damn snatch... Whoa! She's irritated to her damn snatch, her coach, her precious pearl. Oh, you can't irritate a girl to her precious pearl. That is disgusting. That is horrible. Ooh, now I'm irritated to my damn snatch. Ooh! Is the way they are with each... I'm sorry. I want to use that for the rest of my life now. But what irritates me to my damn snatch is the way they are with each other. Catherine recently found the use of explicitives endearing in her speech. But Rosa hoped it was a phase. They're fucking miserable. Any half-wit can see that. Yes. I've told Emily time and again to smarten up. She's hurting a lot of people, including herself. But as if she would listen to her 16-year-old brat of a sister, huh? Well, it's been 8 years, I guess. Even Guillaume is depressed, I can tell. Remember when he used to come and visit us here to have tea? Or when we used to have picnics in the afternoon? We used to run around chasing rodents in the garden. You ran around. We just watched you get dirty, actually. That is very true, you nitheads. Back then, it used to be fun visiting the chateau. Nowadays, we barely even see him. He just stays in his burrow all day, brooding. Is it something adults subject themselves to, like a torture ritual? I really don't understand why two people who are clearly unhappy keep at it. Rosa did understand. At least some part of her did. She couldn't exactly explain how pain and love worked. All she knew was that it had something to do with an absurd, obsessive amount of hope. She felt Mother tugging at her mind. She loved Mother so much. Living with the Perudes gave her ample comparison to her former life. She had finally accepted that Mother was cruel. Yes, she was. We are. And yet Mother still gave her love and kept her from wanting. Was that crazy? Perhaps it was the only love she needed. Perhaps it was what she deserved. Rosa shook the thoughts off her mind and just shrugged. There you go, Rosa. I'm proud of you. I know you were just worried about your sister, Kath. But they will figure it out. Humans learn. Look at you, all profound and shit. You read any good books lately? You read any good books lately? Just the riveting account of the ugly duckling and Baa Black Sheep. Ah, the classics. I don't know how you put up with it, though. I hate reading words. In order to write, I have to learn how to read first. I want to write. Why would you want to do a dastardly thing like writing? Why would you want to hit some crazy strings until your fingers bleed? The two friends laughed again. I want to remember things. I want to write them down. But most of all, I want to feel the way you do when you play the piano, Kath. Oh? The way you look when you play. You are passion and bliss in musical form. It feels like love, like magic. You inspire me to do something fulfilling and grand. Well, I'm sure you will. Hey, why not write a play one day? Oh, let's do it. You write an amazing play, and I shall provide the music. We'll travel around the country and perform. We'll make lots and lots of money and gain lots of followers on Twitter. We shall be known as the Pretty Parade Caravan of Wonders. Parade. I keep forgetting how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. No, don't refresh. Fuck. Let's just hear it one more time.
Fuck.
Fuck. I just love it so much. I'm sorry. Fuck.
Péride.
Pitied. Okay. Pitied. Pitied parade? Are you sure? Puns are the best! Trust me. That sounds damn batty, Kathy. Ugh. From this day forward, nobody is allowed to call me Kathy ever again. The sound of a knock interrupted their giggles. Catherine, it's me. I need to discuss something important with you. Frustrated. Catherine pouted at the sound of her sister's voice. She turned back to her piano and began to pound a sarcastically happy tune. Wow, it does sound sarcastically happy. I love it. Rosa stood up to open the door. Hello, Rosa. Oh. Hello, Rosa. Madame. She had seen little of the Paride sister recently, and astounded her at how old she began to look. She had began to look. Her once radiant face looked tired and harrowed, almost crone-like. Under her eyes hung huge bags, and yet she still looked quite dignified, full of pride and pomp. There was extra rouge on her skin, and her demeanor was elegant. It was as if pride was her only source of nourishment these days. Do you mind giving Catherine and me a moment of privacy? Rosa gave a small bow. Of course not, madame. Rosa gathered her nursery books and squeezed Catherine's shoulder before stepping out of the room. Why did I pause there? Rosa entered the quiet room of the library. Why didn't we get to see Emily? She was about to approach the table when she noticed Guillermo already occupying a seat. He was writing something in a book, somewhat immersed in the activity. Rosa stopped dead in her tracks. Leave now while he is not looking, child. Just go in and ignore him, child. Just go in and ignore him. Why are you so nervous, anyway? Just ignore him. He doesn't seem to notice you. Unfortunately, Guillermo lifted his head and saw her by the door. That's exactly what I wanted to happen! Woo! Oh, hello, Rosa. Rosa took a step back. Maybe it was best to walk away as if this were a mistake. But wouldn't that be rude? He had already seen her after all. But she had never been alone with him. It was just too awkward. Well, why not just go in? I like how she's going back and forth, back and forth. Well, why not just go in? It was going to be fine. They had conversed normally before. Yet, I love that so much. That's great. Yet, that was because Catherine had been around to disperse her awkwardness. Now I look like an idiot. Gimri watched her pace in front of the door in amusement. Rosa had decided to go in. She had already embarrassed herself enough anyway. There was little left to lose. Besides, there was nowhere else to go in this big house. She had already gotten lost in its hallway so much to the annoyance of Maître D. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Maître D. The library was her favorite place. If she stayed quietly in one corner, Rosa was sure they wouldn't bother each other. She took a seat at the farthest corner of the table and opened her book. Oh no, he's actually standing up and walking over? Oh no! No, you're a horrible man. Just sit over there while I sit over here. The Guillermo was already beside her, peeking at what she was reading. Cold sweat spread on her scalp. Rosa, that book. Rosa began to chatter nervously. I know it's a children's book, sire. I'm teaching myself to read. I know most commoners don't really bother, but I want to learn. So please don't laugh or mock me. Yome pointed to the book. It is upside down. Rosa stared at it. Oh, shit. I love it when that happens so much. The ducks in the picture had their feet up in the air. Rosa squirmed, feeling the heat on her cheeks. She couldn't think of anything more embarrassing. I'm sorry! Gummy's face lost its cheer. What do you need my forgiveness for? Rosa looked up at Gummy. His eyes lacked the gentle glint they usually had. It was such a subtle change, something felt rather than observed. What? What? What does that mean? Are words missing from this game? I don't even know anymore. She thought he would reprimand her further. His face certainly looked like it. Instead, he sat down beside Rosa, drumming his fingers on his cheek while he watched her wordlessly. Well? Weren't you going to read? What was wrong with him today? He didn't seem like himself. Had he eaten something bad? The aura he exuded was not his usual friendly warmth. Yet it wasn't particularly wicked. The look on his face just read slightly and eternally miffed. Rosa turned the book upright and read the words out loud. That is the word you with the short sound. It is pronounced like this. Gume made the sound, his face still and his lazy stare. Rosa nodded and continued. Her nerves were frazzled, but she was actually at ease in his presence. She felt like a child being taught by their parent. Oh no, not the daddy kink, no! The parent was strict but still caring, and the child was jumpy but eager to learn and please. Most of all, he would not hurt her for her mistakes. Rosa was almost sure. There lived. The past tense of live. Why do we change it? It is a rule of grammar that... Grammar? Kumi narrowed his eyes at her. Do you even know your alphabet? Rosa shook her head. You should start there. Kumi rose from his chair and disappeared among the shelves. He left behind an old thick book covered in green felt. This was what he had been writing in earlier. It looked tattered and worn. The pages laid fat on its side so that the book didn't close properly. You mean flat? Rosa reached out to peek at the cover when... You are not to touch that. Rosa's whole body froze at the sound of Guillermo's warning. Guillermo's stare followed her even when she whispered numerous apologies under her breath. I'm sorry. Guillermo just rolled his eyes. I would too. You were always seeking forgiveness for everything. Am I? I'm sorry. Me. I hate it when those people, I both simultaneously love and hate it when, like, I apologize too much, because it's just, like, it's so comical when it's, like, a character says, I'm sorry a lot, and then another character gets on their case for it, and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry for apologizing so much, and they're just like, you just don't get it. His hands struck the table in front of Rosa. In the quiet library, the sound rang uncomfortably in her ear. When she looked up, Guillermo's face was looming severely above hers. He moved closer to her, his eyes fixed on her intensely. Rosa's mouth hung open. She struggled to say something, but her wits were like the burning ends of a matchstick. Before she could compose herself, she felt Guillermo's hand lift her chin. Rosa's heart thumped loudly inside her chest. Please don't. Not you too. She felt his breath on her face, and her heart sank into despair. Mother's voice resounded in her head. In the end, they are all the same. He is like everyone else. She shut her eye and prepared herself for the worst, like she always did when... Then she felt her face being turned from side to side. She opened her eye to see Guillermo staring her face like a textbook. You are... so blunt! Oh my god! Give it up for Guillermo, guys! He's so blunt! Woo! Woo! God, I'm such a weirdo fucking clapping alone in my room. God, I'm sad. You are a fairly attractive girl. Why do you carry yourself as if it is a slight? As if it is a slight. He lifted the hair that hid her damaged eye. Rosa clenched her teeth. Is it because you were hurt before? He said it so matter-of-factly, like he was stating the sky was blue. Rosa recoiled from his touch. No. I did that to myself. I wasn't talking about your eye. He placed a book on the table. It was a thin pamphlet filled with letters. There were lines on the book that instructed the user to trace letters with their quill. Rosa wanted to focus on it, but she could feel the truth in the marquee words stinging at her. It was the way you went limp when I touched you. Next time I advise you to fight back. If you don't want to be touched, then you don't have to be. Do you understand this? But I am weak. Says who? His eyes were humorless. He's got a good point. The world cares not for people who think of themselves as victims, Rosa. Exactly! You know, SJWs and feminazis, feminazis, I guess. But I don't know. Third wave feminists can learn from this. Really. If you need power, then be powerful. To have it, it is necessary to crush things along the way. Rosa flinched under the weight of his stare. She realized that the polite and courteous Guillermo was but a facet. It was still him, but it was nothing but an oil portrait, an artwork of his devising. Synthetic, aloof, and irrelevant, it couldn't capture his essence in a few human strokes. Suddenly, Rosa realized he was powerful. Who are you? She caught herself before saying it aloud. You are not Guillermo. And yet, he spoke to her as if he knew what it was like to hurt and to fear. If you don't start acting like you own yourself, then people will not hesitate to take everything. He laid out the rest of the books he had brought out. I can learn a lot from this guy. I love him. One was an activity book for children. It had a picture of a child holding an apple with an arrow stuck in it. Another was a book of limericks. The other two were thicker books that intimidated her. She would come to know them as Hamlet and Paradise Lost. But the one that caught her eye was an ornately designed book. It had a beautiful red jacket with delicate gold trimmings lining the corners. The gods and goddesses of Roman mythology. This would be her favorite book, her treasure, and she knew it like love at first sight. These books are yours. Take them with you. Read the thin ones first, and then gradually build your vocabulary with the thicker ones. Rosa ran her hands over the skin of the red book. She opened the cover gingerly, as if carefully unwrapping a present. Thank you. No thanks needed. I simply showed you some books from a portion of the library you were unaware of. You are still so generous, even if you are like this. Like what? That. What? Somewhat irritable? Yumi didn't reply, leaving an awkward silence lingering between them. Why did you just say that? Then he gave a giant laugh that made Rosa jump out of her skin. At least he knows how to laugh at himself. That's great. I look damn irritable, don't I? I do look damn irritable, don't I? Why? Is it because of Emily? Gimmy's eyes drifted away. Oh! No. I've always been. You just pointed it out. But you are not usually like this. Especially with Catherine and the townspeople. I find it easy to adapt to people, especially to the ones I like. Gimli looked at Rosa as if he had just become aware of her presence. Makes me wonder why I am so stern with you. I'm sorry. Rosa shook her head. I somehow prefer this side of you. Ooh! She likes the bad boys! Ooh! The assholes! Gimli cocked his head to the side. He brought out the green book that Rosa noticed earlier. This is called a journal. Ah, I knew it. When you learn to write, start one. What is it? Something you can use to remember yourself when you've forgotten. Does it work? It used to, nowadays not anymore. Oh. The act itself is the only thing I remember. Now, let's start with your vowels. Oh shit. Let me guess. Someone died. A scream pierced the halls of the chateau. It was Catherine. Gimli sprinted to the door with Rosa not far behind. Is that it? Back in the piano room, Catherine took a shaky step towards her sister. She wasn't moving at all. Wait. Oh no. I knew it! Someone died! God damn it! Why does everyone have to die every 5 seconds? God damn! Your sister die? Blood dotted the ivory keys. I didn't. It was an accident. Emily? She was overcome with the urge to approach her sister and shake her awake. Make sure she was okay, but it was a nasty fall. Emily? Catherine saw the way her sister's head snapped back as it coiled with the sharp corner of the piano. She watched it all like a series of photographs in her head. She had to check on her, but her feet refused to move. Instead, she began to retreat into a corner. She didn't even notice her legs were moving until her forehead touched the wall. She didn't want to turn around. Her sister was on the floor. Oh my god. Why does everyone have to die every 5 minutes? Oh my god. First her sister dies, and then Catherine dies. I guess Catherine fucking killed herself because her sister died. That's probably why. It wasn't anything to do with Yumi, probably. It was because she was depressed that her sister died. Fuck. Why did I take a screenshot of this? What is wrong with me? Her sister was on the floor. Her eyes were still open, unblinking. Oh, it was an accident. It was an accident! It was nothing but an accident! Was it? She pushed first! She got really scary. She strangled me. What? That's absurd. Are you sure? Would she do that? I don't know. I think she did. Catherine touched her throat. It felt fine. That pretty girl. Emily, is it? She really believes just because the Marquis took her in that he's interested in her? Well, she's obsessed with the master. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Wasn't her mother a bit, you know, not right in the head? Probably runs in the family. Emily had looked mad. Her eyes had burned with malice for her as she had closed her fingers around Catherine's neck. But she couldn't remember it if that had really happened. Her sister was always kind to her. She would never, ever hurt her, even when they got into fights. Sister loved her. Oh, shit. And now Sister's dead. Yay! This thing is a whole this game is a whole clusterfuck of shit. It's a whole bundle of fuckery. I mean, I'm not saying the game's shit. I'm just saying this game is a whole heap of just fuck. Insert Google Translate fuck sound here. Why do I keep taking screenshots of all this? It's horrible. I'm a horrible person. I deserve to die. Sister loved her. Am I turning mad? I have the blood of a mad woman. Am I going to end up like her? I only told her the truth. Gimli doesn't care for her. And she doesn't even care for him that much either. It was all just chaff. their relationship. I don't know what the hell that means, but I'm assuming that it was just fake. No sense trying to make everyone else miserable, too. But she called me jealous and a cunt. She used the cunt word. Yay, I get to say cunt. Cunt, cunt, cunt. Cunt, 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 cunt. She never called me. Oh my god, stop using the word cunt. This is the family-friendly content you subscribed for. She has never called me a cunt. She said that she said they have decided to send me away. My lessons sent home. The piano replaced. It was for my own good, she said. I don't have to travel here all the time. I can concentrate on my other endeavors. I can make new friends. But I know she just doesn't want me near the chateau or Guillemets. She hates it when I catch her with him. Perhaps this morning was the last straw? She hates it, but she also smirks at me when I see them. Like she basks in it. I think I might hate her. Catherine's thoughts ran through her head like a storm. They poured out of her aimlessly. I wonder if the piano is broken. Am I going to pay for it? What will become of us without sister's wages? What of father's medicine? What of my dreams? Sister can't be dead. Sister can't be dead. Catherine brought her fingers to her lips and nibbled on her thumb. She didn't notice this. Her mind was preoccupied. She was in her corner of the wall, biting her fingers. It was a tiny comfort in a rapidly collapsing world. Guillemets opened the door and found Emily lying on the floor. An ugly gash broke the skin of her forehead. Facing the wall was Catherine, shivering like a leaf and viciously devouring one of her fingernails. Ooh! He approached her cautiously. Catherine? Rosa was out of breath, but was still able to let out a gasp at the scene. Emily's lifeless eyes stared up at nothing while Catherine pressed herself into a corner. What had happened after she had left? Rosa, will you call for help, please? See that someone checks on Emily. Rosa did as she was told, but what she really wanted to do was hug Catherine herself. Guillemets took a small step towards her. He called out her name slowly, coaxingly. Catherine turned her head, her thumb still on her lower lip. The flesh was torn, and a single smudge of scarlet painted her teeth. It was an accident, I swear. Of course it was, Catherine, of course it was. She pushed me first. She wanted me sent away. She wanted me gone. You can tell me about it later. Let me take you away from this room. What have I done? Catherine fell to her knees and wept and wept. Large sobs sucked the air out of her. She felt like drowning, trying to keep herself afloat in between sobs. Every exhale was a squeezing pain in her lungs. She felt Guillemets' arms wrap around her. What have I done? What have I done? You didn't do anything, ma chérie. This is not your fault. There was a bitter bulge building. There's a bitter bulge bulging up in her... Fuck, there was a bitter bulge building up in her throat, and she felt that no amount of crying could push it back down. What am I going to do? Father's... Sister... I'm so scared. Guillemets' arms wound tighter around her, and she clutched onto his warmth in this vast sea of fear. You don't have to be. I will always be by your side. Catherine, I will take care of you and your father, all right? You don't have to worry about your future. Her tears soaked his shirt through, but the squeezing in her chest felt less painful. Why? Why do you do this? Why do you care so much for me? Guillemets' brows furrowed, as if confused that she would even asked. I just do. It was a boldly stated fact, as if painfully obvious, as if Catherine was a fool for not knowing it. It made Catherine's heart expand in her ribs. When she looked back, she would recall this as the moment she fell in love with him. Oh, she fell in love with him. Oh. My God. Everyone's fallen in love with this guy. Including me! Fuck! No! It was his plan all along. The look in his eyes was reassuring and strong. She wasn't alone. She was going to be all right. Let's get you away from here. He supported her arms and stood her up, careful to block the view of her sister from her eyes. He led her to the door. Catherine hated how fast her relief came. She was still drenched in sorrow at her sister's death. Her father would not take well to the news, especially in his health. But she was all right, and she hated it. Rosa was with her. She didn't have to leave her piano, her dreams, him. Nothing had to change. And most importantly, she hated the voice that came whispering in her head over and over again. Thank goodness she's dead. Thank goodness. That's it? Is that the end of the chapter? Okay. Oh. The first candle is lit. The candle is storage. This candle is storage. Well, this is getting so good, guys. Oh my god. I love this game. It's so good. I love it. I love all the gore. I love all the grossness. I love it. Okay, good. It's still chapter 3. Okay. So, well, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode of Oh, nice. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this, actually, while I'm thinking about it. Because, we do that around here. But, anyway, guys, if you guys, it's kind of hard to do my outro when I'm focusing on something else. To be truthful. But anyway, guys, okay, let me rewind. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Cupid, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, just like Emily, die safely. Bye-bye!